Hello again, everybody. Steven to my new YouTube channel, and welcome to Tuesday the 27th live stream show. And today is Tuesday the 27th, 2026. And today is the first episode of Open Mic Night. And today we're going to be talking to some of my favorite guest stars. I've already sent a link out on the chat here. And the person already showed up on the chat here is Axe and Nachos. Good to see you. Now today is the first episode of Open Mic Night. As we welcome some guest stars who are going to be showing up today, as this is my first Open Mic Night episode. And I don't know if I should add music on the background to the StreamYard, but there's the applause sound effects. And I hope everyone's having a good day today and staying warm from the cold days overnight, with temps going to be in the mid-0 degrees. I mean, it's going to be very blustery and cold night. And now I have a little announcement to make here. Thursday the 29th, I'm going to Maryland with Nikki. Hold on, this microphone here seems kind of... There we are. Now, Thursday the 29th, I'm going to Maryland with Nikki because maybe to get my ID straightened up and maybe get a job at Clara PA's Walmart. And maybe I'm going to be doing some stacking and unstacking. And probably my best job to do. And Axe and Nachos did show up on the chat here. Sunday we might have him joining me on my guest Open Mic Night. Maybe in the next episode of Open Mic Night. Where it says, yep, hands yellow, heart, red heart. Very nice chat there, Axe and Nachos, and welcome aboard. Now this is the link on the chat here that I've sent out to the favorite musical guest stars like Bruce Harvey, or Axe and Nachos, or Michael Songs. And we're going to be talking to those guys. And hey, look who's here to join me on my first time. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. The man's going to be here on my first live stream show. He's the actor from the show at the Rio Bravo. Give a big warm welcome to Joe Cornett. Joe Cornett.
How are you, Steven?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's good to see you on my first time on my live stream.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me as guest numero uno.
That's very nice. So tell me, Joe, where do you live?
Yes, sir. Well, I spent a lot of time in Arizona, Texas, and a little bit in California. So I'm all over the map. Currently, I'm in Pasadena, California.
Very nice. Well, I'm here in Clara, PA, Pennsylvania.
Very good. Very good.
So let's talk about your film called Showdown at Rio Bravo. What character did you play as in this film?
Quick correction. I had 2 Rio Bravo movies. I had Gunfight at Rio Bravo, and I had the sequel, which is taken from Rio Bravo. And I played a character called Sheriff Vernon Kelly, who was the sheriff of the town of Blind Chapel.
That's very nice. And what do you do?
As much as possible to get the screen time. But I sort of work with Alexander Nevsky's character, who's the actual hero of the piece, and he plays a transplanted Russian in the in the Old West, the post-Civil War West of Texas. And his character is actually based on a real guy who served in the American Civil War. And he was actually a general in the Union Army. So we thought it would be fun to take that and run with it a little in a fictional direction and say what happened to this guy, because he sort of disappeared after 1865, and it would be fun to see what would have happened to him if he, during his years that he disappeared. So we just kind of, our great writer Craig Hammond came up with the story, and the rest is history, and we've done 2 movies so far.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you ever heard of a movie called Tombstone?
Of course I have. And I have great ties with the city of Tombstone. A number of my actors I work with and other people, art directors and so forth, they live in Tombstone, Arizona. Love that movie, though.
Yeah, with the star of Kirk Russell, who plays Wyatt Earp.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But Val Kilmer have died, you know.
Well, I think you'll see up on my, I don't know if you could see it, but up on my wall, I've got a little tribute to Val Kilmer that was done by a local artist over in Prescott, Arizona. And I've got a big one out in the other room. Maybe I could bring it in later. That was done for me by the great actor Buck Taylor, who's one hell of an artist in his own right.
Oh yeah, Buck Taylor from Gunsmoke.
Yeah, Gunsmoke. And Buck is an old pal of mine, and a really great guy. And I'm pleased to call him my friend. I actually own 2 paintings that Buck did. And anyway, he's a great guy, and he's going to appear in a future film project that I have going with the Mitchum family, that being Robert Mitchum and his younger brother John. I'm doing 2 film projects with them, and both projects were written by John Mitchum, as I say, younger brother to Robert. And you would recognize John. He was in 3 of the Dirty Harry movies, plus couple other Clint Eastwood movies, Outlaw Josie Wales and High Plains Drifters. Very, very successful character actor.
I like Clint Eastwood a lot.
Yeah, so do I. So you see,
and even Clint Eastwood.
You'll see him up there too, if you notice.
Yeah, I see him.
And actually, I just had republished John Mitchum's book, which is called Them Ornery Mitchum Boys. Now we're taking this book and we're doing a limited series with this. And I just got back from Dallas, Texas, where we're gonna film a lot of this. But anyway, this book is a hell of a read, and it's now available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com, and I believe a few select bookstores. But it's a big book, and it's got all kinds of great photos, and the stories are unbelievable because it's a great tale of these 2 brothers, and very, very it's a very character-driven, real-life story about these 2 brothers that left their home during their childhood, early teen years, and rode the rails, not really knowing where they were going to end up, and ultimately they end up in Long Beach, California, and they both accidentally end up in the movie business. And
hey, Buck Stanley, welcome aboard.
And it's a great story.
So it's a great story, is it?
Yes, sir.
Very interesting. Did you notice that Kevin Costner was going to be on the show called Yellowstone?
Well, I love that show, and I love just about everything that Taylor Sheridan does. And I still am addicted to that show. And I do rewatch it from time to time. And I'm also a big fan of Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. And I highly recommend that for anybody who actually hasn't seen it. It's on the Paramount Plus network, along with Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. Both are very much worth watching. They're fantastic shows and very well written, well directed, and interesting takes on each of their individual subjects.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Squirrel Swirl, good to see you in the chat. Squirrel Swirl is another YouTube person, and she does karaoke like me. I'm a huge karaoke fan, I've been karaokeing around the entire United States, from
Have you?
Maryland to Pennsylvania.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
And I'm so far in my channel, I'm up to a 200 mark, a 200 subscribers so far.
Good for you.
Thank you. And have you been listening to some country music a lot?
Yes, I do.
Who's your favorite artist?
Well, I'm a big fan of Jason Aldean. I'm a big fan of John Party. I like a lot of the newer folks, but I'm also very much a confirmed dyed-in-the-wool Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, Glenn Campbell. I still listen to them all these years later, and I just it's great music to me.
I'm a huge fan of Brooks and Dunn, Alan
Yeah.
Jackson,
Brooks
Tim
and Dunn are
McGraw.
very good. I've seen them live several times. They're great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them a lot too. So, so Joe, what's your next plan after your live stream?
Well, I have several projects in the making. As I think you probably know, I published my first book, which is a work of fiction, and I don't have a copy to show you because I'm fresh out, but I'll find a visual here somewhere. But the book is called A Prayer for the Damned and Other Tales of the West, and it came out a year ago, October. And it's basically my novelized version of my first Western feature film, which was called A Prayer for the Damned, which has been out for several years now. I came out with it in March of 2020. It was released, and I novelized it just for fun because I got to be able to do all the things in the novel version that I wasn't able to at that time have the budgetary room to put on to the screen back then. So it was kind of fun. It's that's also available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. And I recommend it even if you've seen my movie, because the book has a different ending, it has different characters, it has different backstories, and it's just it's a different approach to the same story. But I am working on my second book, which is going to be released sometime later this year. I'm still putting the final touches on it for my publisher, but it's called Through the Lens. And basically what it is, it's a kind of a memoir of sort of how I got to where I am here now. But more than that, what I do is I take a series of about 15 motion pictures that influenced me. These are not the typical films that you would see on the AFI top 20 list. These are films that personally influenced me and personally sort of framed my vision for what I kind of always, most of my life, wanted to do. So I have films like William Friedkin's Sorcerer. I have films like The Outlaw Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood, of course. I talk about Akira Kurosawa. I talk about Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. So it's Cape Fear, the original Robert Mitchum, Greg Peck version. And so they're not your usual, like, the top 20 films ever made. These are my personal favorites for my personal reasons. So hopefully people might find that of interest and buy the book when it comes out. And it should be out within the next 6 months, I do believe. Also, I have, in addition to my two Robert and John Mitchum projects, which are Songs of History, the first one, which we're going to start doing very quickly. And that's a anthology of the history and the backstories of the great songs of America. Songs like Shenandoah, Battle Hymn of the Republic, Shenandoah, Will You Come to the Bower, Aloha Oi, The Streets of Laredo. And I have a number of folks that are, and each chapter of this film will feature a individual song in a sort of docudrama style, with live dramatized action. And we have a variety of people already associated with it. Among them, we have, I mentioned Buck Taylor, we have Barry Corbin, we have Mo Brings Plenty from Yellowstone, we have Bruce Boxleitner, Bobby Carradine, Jason Richards, who is the son of the great Rusty Richards, who was the original Sons of the Pioneers. We're hoping maybe to get Reba McEntire involved. And just there's a slew of others. So that's going to be kind of interesting. And then we're doing this book, the Ornery Mitchum Boys. We're doing it as a limited series, we hope, for about, 9 to 10 plus episodes. And it'll be the story of Robert and John and their lives and their fun adventures. And so those are the two in the immediate future. I've also got a Western that I just recently was involved in polishing and rewriting the script. It's an original story of mine and based on my original screenplay called The Taming. And it's set in the late 1890s on in a Texas cattle ranch. But for those that might recognize the story arc in it, it's actually my sort of remaking of William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew, except set in a Western. The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare, but it's set in a Western idiom, and that should be good fun. And I already have some interesting people associated with that project, and I'm hoping to film that in Lone Pine, California, where many of the great Westerns, like especially the Randolph Scott Westerns back in the 40s and 50s, were all filmed up there. Django Unchained was filmed up there. In fact, that was the last major Western film up there. And I've already been in discussion with the Lone Pine Film Museum to help me get that production off the ground. And I'll probably film much of it in Texas as well. So those are the immediate 3 film projects that I'm hoping. Plus, I have a 70s crime caper film that's upcoming, which I haven't quite polished up the screenplay, but it should be very interesting. Think in terms of an even grittier and hard as nails version of, say, The Getaway, but a lot tougher. And even though that was a very tough movie with tough characters, this one is something else. So
very tough characters, all right.
What's that?
Very tough characters.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Now let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
You went to Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes.
Have you ever heard the show called Walker, Texas Ranger, played by Chuck Norris?
Of course.
You ever heard of him?
I take Chuck Norris's supplements. That's no joke.
That's no joke. That's no joke. Hey, you ever been to Ponderosa, Virginia City?
I have been to Virginia City. It's been a few years, but I have been there. Yes.
Well, have you heard the show called Bonanza?
Of course I know Bonanza.
You know the Cartwrights?
I know the Cartwrights.
Like we have Ben Cartwright, Adam, Hoss, and Little Joe?
That's correct.
You ever watched that one?
Well, I used to watch it all the time. In fact, as I recall, when I was a kid, there used to be a place that you used to be able to go to, the supposedly the ranch, the Ponderosa, and it was somewhere up in Nevada. I want to say it was near the lake up there, that has the California Nevada side. Yeah, I think it's long gone now, but I remember going there as like an 8-year-old.
Hey, look who's here on the channel the first time. It's Have Cheetah Will View. He was my guest star on my live stream.
Have Cheetah Will View. I love him. He's great. He's
you were on his guest star, aren't you?
Yes, I have been on his show, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. He's a lot of fun. and he's a wealth of knowledge. That guy. He and he's a hoot too. He's a great interviewer. Yeah,
And
he's
he's the greatest host talking about horror movies.
Yes, he is. And in fact, he had me on for one of my horror films, Night of the Caregiver, a couple of years back. So,
and after you were was asking you something, it said, "How are you doing, Joe?"
I'm doing great. Better
Joe's
now that
doing great there, Patrick. And you do a cattle ranch, do you, Patrick? I mean, Joe, sorry.
What's that?
Did you do cattle ranch?
The Project Cattle Ranch? No.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
All right. But now I've seen pictures that you made so far. What other pictures did you made?
Well, I've been in and directed and written about half of them, 7 feature films, which are all in international release. I did in the following order. I did A Prayer for the Damned, Incident at Gilt Ridge, Promise, which is my favorite of all of them, Gunfight at Rio Bravo, Night of the Caregiver, Taken from Rio Bravo, and my last release was a piece called The Wide West, which incorporated sumo wrestlers and a Ronin and some interesting Japanese elements in it. Look at that! Patrick just sent me a text.
Let me see.
He just sent me a personal one here on Messenger saying, "Thank you so much." He's a great guy, Patrick.
Oh well.
So those are the 7 that I'm sort of personally responsible for. And I directed all 7 of them. I've been involved in other things. I just did a brief turn on a friend of mine's latest film, and we filmed it oddly enough just a month ago in December, which hardly any productions are going on during the holidays, but this particular one was, and it was great to be working for a change in the month of December. But I just did that. I can't really talk too much about that, but it'll be a great project coming out probably later this year called Above Ground, and it's kind of funny, but it also deals with death and some other equally important subjects. So I'm, that'll be fun. And, and I've had other turns here and there. I've even, some years back, I even played a zombie attacking people underneath the Santa Monica Pier. That was interesting.
Very interesting. So how are your days going there, Patrick? I mean, how's your day going, Joe?
Well, right now it's all about you. So it's going well. Yeah.
Okay. And what's that book called again, from Amazon or from BarnesandNobles.com again?
Well, I got 2 of them. There's them Ornery Mitchum boys.
The Adventures of Robert and John Mitchum.
By John Mitchum. And the other book is, let's see if I have something.
All right.
I don't have the book, but I hate to leave camera, Stephen. I don't have the book, but I have this, which has a picture of the book on it. This is an advertising thing I put on an easel. But anyway, this is my other book, A Prayer for the Damned, and Other Tales of the West.
That picture right there is kind of like Chuck Norris right there with that Prayer of a Damned book.
Well, I thank you for that. I thank you for that. Actually, that has been sometimes pointed out to me. Personally, I don't see the similarity, but I kind of get it. And I also occasionally get John Wick. That's quite fun.
I see.
But I tell people that say these things to me, I say, no, they look like me. I don't look like that. So,
That's no joke. So, So, Joe Cornyn, it was nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you, Stephen. Thank you for having me on. Congratulations on the podcast, and I look forward to more. And whenever you need me, just let me know. I'm here, pal.
And when you come back on our next episode of Open Mic Night, we'll have more fun talking about your adventures.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to it. Just let me know, Stephen.
Don't worry, Joe. I will.
Pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all come back to here. There you have it, folks. Joe Cornyn, the first guy from this Facebook channel, and I do want to thank him since he was the very first guest star. And in fact, I would like to give Joe Cornyn a round of applause for coming in today. And for showing us his great books. And he's a very good actor. And we hope he can keep on acting like me someday. And one of these days, maybe for my birthday, that's coming soon in September 4th. It was nice meeting him, Squirrel's World. Maybe he'll come back again on our next Open Mic Night. Now, let me see if I have a link still in the chat here. Yep, I do. The link is still in the chat here. So that way any other guest stars would like to try and stop by for a minute or so and talk about their days and what they're doing. Now I want to take a look at the Facebook for a minute here. Yeah, it was nice meeting him, Squirrel's World. And maybe we'll get him again in the next Open Mic Night. Maybe after I get back from Maryland with Nikki. Maybe to get my IDs straightened up. And maybe get a job here in Carlin, PA, Pennsylvania's Walmart. Uh-oh. That's not good, Squirrel's World. And Patrick from Cheetah Review. Patrick from Cheetah Review was my next guest star since he was on my last live stream. And he and I have a great time together. And he was a great guy who does a story about horrors. And hold on a second, folks. Okay. It's cold here in Cheetah Review, all right? Anyway, Patrick, on your next live stream, who is your next guest stars going to be? Christine Newton. Christine Newton. I'll be there on the chat there, Patrick. And yes, Joe Cornett was the very first guest star from Facebook to my live stream show. I do want to thank him for showing up today. She ruins a horror group on Facebook. What? That's not good. Maybe after this live stream is over, Patrick, I'll find Christine Newton and find out what it's all about. Anyway, now maybe my next guest star would like to try and stop by. Might be like Bruce Harvey or Michael Songs. Michael Songs is the first guitar player like me. You got yourself a real celebrity for a guest. I know, Patrick.
I love you.
Bye, love you, Jesse.
I love you.
Stay warm.
You too.
I will. Not a horror fan. That's true, Squirrels World. Not a horror fan. But anyway, Michael Songs is the first guitar player like me. And this guitar right here is the color black. And a guitar model is B21. You see, B21 was the first guitar. And it was made by this is the hard word right there. But it says here, but the model is B21. You see, B21 is the first guitar, and it's in color black. And I got this strap on. Someday I might be in Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. But I got to practice the songs. And the one practice song that I might try after Kenny Lee sent me a Gmail. And the song was called The Flag, where you see the flag behind me with the colors of the red, white, and blue and the stars. There are 50 stars, the states. And there were 50 states on that American flag. Like the one that is in Texas to California to here, Pennsylvania, to Maryland, to Delaware, to New Jersey. And there are other states around the entire United States. And and Patrick, that video that you did about Monsters University, it was the very first Disney movie that I remember the time when I was watching that film. And one such good actor who played Sully by the name of John Goodman. And Billy Crystal, who played Mike Wazowski. And I first heard of that Monsters University film. And I mean, that movie is hilarious. And I did enjoy watching that movie last couple of years ago. And the one time that I remember while I was watching that Monsters University film is when Sully scares off the Rangers, the forest rangers. That part there is hilarious. All of a sudden, the doors exploded. And I mean, that part is hilarious. Indeed, it was a good film, Patrick. Now I've told you folks before about the film called Smokey and the Bandit. Smokey and the Bandit is another classic film that I've first heard of. And where Burt Ray, who was the bandit, and Buford T. Justice was chasing the bandit until Jerry Reed takes over and plays the bandit in Smokey and the Bandit Part 3. And it was another comedy film the first time that I've seen. And maybe next time on my next time's live stream, we're going to have another celebrity guest star who is going to join me on my next open mic night. Maybe after I get back from Maryland. Maybe we're going to be talking to Rocky Ray or the world's fastest female gunslinger of the West by the name of Haley Mitch. You see, Haley Mitch is the first female gunslinger, and she also does target shooting. And it was a very good target shooting from Haley Mitch. Now, give me a second here, folks. But as you folks may not notice, that temp's probably going to go down to 0 degrees for today into Friday. It's going to be a cold night. And you live in Canada, this Squirrel's World, and it's storming there. Uh-oh, that's not good. Sorry about that noise there, folks. It's Rocket the cat. Anyway, but like I said, I do... Uh-oh. It's snowing in Canada. Yikes. Like I said, I do want to give Joe Cornett a round of applause for coming in today. And he was a very good actor. And maybe next time we'll have him again to talk to him about more movies, Western movies that he's done. But one such movie that he didn't realize that Kevin Costner starred in the 1994 Western film Wyatt Earp. You see, Kevin Costner, who is Wyatt Earp, and along with his brothers, Dennis Quaid, played Doc Holliday. And hold on, let me look at the cast of the film of 1994 film Wyatt Earp. Okay, we got the cast of Wyatt Earp. We got the cast of Wyatt Earp in 1994. Michael Madsen, who plays Virgil Earp. Lyndon Ashby, who plays Morgan Earp. And then Tom Sizemore plays the legendary Bat Masterson. And then the star named Gene Hackman, even though Gene Hackman have died, who plays Nicholas Earp. Never heard that character before. But Dennis Quaid, who is the star who plays Doc Holliday. Then Dennis Quaid stars in another horror film called Jaws 3 in 3D. What's this? Oh, Joe Cornett on the Facebook said thank you. And he was a very good guy, and maybe we'll have him again on my next live stream. A regular live stream, that is. like I said, Dennis Quaid starred in the 1983 film Jaws 3. You see, Jaws 3 is another shark movie where mechanically Bruce is attacking the Sea World. And you love to see that movie, huh? Then until 2002, where Dennis Quaid took over in the baseball film called The Rookie. You see, The Rookie is the first baseball movie, and it's a Disney version. And it was based on Jim Morse, who debuted in the Major League Baseball. And the first time that Dennis Quaid in that film, who plays the pitcher of the baseball game in Texas, in the Texas Rangers Stadium. Hey, look who's here to join me again. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is another star from his Facebook account. Everybody give a big warm welcome to Rocky Ray. Rocky Ray, hello there. Welcome to the show.
Hello there.
It's good to see you for the first time.
All right. I don't know if this is working right, but I guess it is.
What happened to your screen?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's blue.
Oh, it's blue.
Yeah.
Let me look at some things here. Camera. Oh, it says it's on. I'm in
Something's
this show.
Something's wrong with your webcam system.
Oh, okay. Well, darn. We finally get on there together and I can hear you and everything. Now I can't. Everything shows to be working. I've never ever used the camera before. This is when I first started with you, that was it on this computer. I've had it about 6 months.
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with your webcam system.
Yeah, I just might have to just go in and just reboot it to the browser.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I'll try that. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, but I can see your American flag and your shirt, everything.
Yep, the American flag behind me. You see behind me.
Yep.
Where the 50 stars and the stripes. And the shirt you see me is the cowboy shirt.
Yeah.
I've been wearing this since I got that for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it fits comfortably. And I also got this guitar for my birthday.
All right.
And the model is B21.
A B21.
Yep. So yeah, Rocky, why don't you reboot your system and then try and come on back in?
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
All right. We'll see you in a minute, hopefully.
Okay. Rocky Ray's got a little webcam system problem here, but he'll try and reboot the system, and we're going to talk to him when he gets back. So, and since Rocky Ray did show up, but he has a little webcam system, I do want to give him a round of applause. And hopefully when his webcam system gets fixed, he'll try and come on back in and see if he can try and see me. Now, in the meantime, I do want to talk to you about this B21 guitar. It maybe look small, but it maybe look medium side, but it can hold on to me as well. But then I do have another problem with this one here. It's a mini microphone. You see, this mini microphone, it won't connect to the PC because it needs a jack. It needs a 35 headphone jack. And it's not adapted to it. Squirrel's World, Rocky will be back. He has a little webcam system problem here. Now, I want to tell you folks about Chuck Norris as well. Chuck Norris also starred in the 1982 action horror film Silent Range. You see, Silent Range is another scary movie, but Chuck Norris is brave enough to fight this guy. And he fights a murderer. He fights a murderer to stop him until he finally defeated. It'd be up to the Texas Ranger, Chuck Norris, to put a stop to him. This next film I want to tell you about is Breaker Breaker. You see, Breaker Breaker is the first truck movie, and it was released in 1977, where Chuck Norris is fighting against another bad guy, and Chuck Norris plays the legendary J.D. Dawns. J.D. Dawns drives a big rig to the little desert town and smacks into the middle. And it also says to rescue his brother, Billy. Y'all never heard of that trucking movie before, huh? And it was the very first Breaker Breaker movie. And the legendary singer named Eddie Rabbitt. Eddie Rabbitt, who this is a song called Driving My Life Away. It was the first truck song. And another truck song that was called Convoy. And in the movie called Convoy, Chris Christopherson starred when he drives a truck, a tanker truck. And then Ernest Borgnine from Willard, he's also starring in the movie Convoy. And it was a very good convoy movie with all these big trucks and some great truck movies I've seen a lot. And it was a good time watching those trucks. Oh, and Patrick from Cheetah with You. Have you ever heard of the 1997 film called Trucks, starring Timothy Busfield? And if it does snow in your area there, Squirrel's World, stay warm and stay safe. And the reason we're temps going down because we got a cold advisory in effect from Tuesday through Friday. And it might be a couple chilly nights. In fact, I want to take a look at the forecast here. Lower than normal temps expecting through tomorrow through Saturday. Stay warm and stay safe, folks. Because temps going to the mid 4, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16 degrees. Next Thursday, the 5th, is February. We might get some snow showers. Chance of snow showers only 20%. But tonight's temps in the mid 8 degrees. Wednesday night's temps in the mid 4 degrees. Thursday, it's going to be a 2 degree mark. Friday, 3 degrees mark. 2 degrees mark on Sunday. Mark on Saturday. Back to the 8 degrees on Sunday night. And then back to the mid 9 degrees on Monday. 10 degrees on Tuesday. 11 degrees on Wednesday. Then back to the mid 16 degrees on Thursday. With snow showers. And Rocky Ray did see the American flag behind me and that guitar behind me as well. And the Western shirt that he's seen. And oh man, I slept till like 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And my plans after my live stream is over, I might try and maybe try to talk to other Facebook friends and see if they would like to be on my next time's Open Mic Night live stream. And we're going to talk to many other Facebook friends and see if they would like to try and come up and talk about what they're doing. And just enjoying ourselves. And this here is the guitar case. The guitar case is where my guitar is going to be. And every time I finish playing my guitar, I put my guitar back in the guitar case. But I haven't practiced playing the guitar yet, so maybe I'll figure it out how to practice playing this guitar. But in the meantime, I'm going to put this back in the guitar case. Don't worry, Squirrels Road. Rocky Ray will be back as soon as he finds a way to get his webcam system and see if he can try and come on up again. There we go. You see, this is my guitar case that I'm holding, and it fits my guitar, but I haven't practiced playing the guitar yet. So maybe after my live stream's over, I might try and practice on a guitar for a little bit, or just try and sing it without a guitar. Now, you folks may not notice that a legendary star named Bruce Lee had joined up with Chuck Norris in this 1972 film, The Way of the Dragon. And Bruce Lee was the first karate star, and Chuck Norris is a martial arts star. And it was the very first action movie of them all. Now, just like I told Joe Cornett, having seen Walker, Texas Ranger, and he did watch it, and but he may not notice there's a spinoff of Walker, Texas Ranger show called Sons of Thunder. Sons of Thunder is a spinoff of Walker, Texas Ranger show. And cast of characters of the spinoff show of Sons of Thunder was James Wiglick, and Marco Sanchez. Now, those two guys are the two original heroes in the Sons of Thunder. Until they team up with the cast of Walker, Texas Ranger. Chuck Norris, Clarence Gilliard, and Cherie J. Wilson. Those are the three characters team up with the Sons of Thunder with a spin-off of Walker, Texas Ranger. And that was the first show, The Sons of Thunder. And The Sons of Thunder was released in 1999. And it was the first crime show of all. And coming up this week on Svengoolie, we have a giant monster with a half skull mask. It was the War of the Colossal Beast. And the Colossal Beast is a giant-sized monster, and with a half skull mask. And I've already sent a preview of Svengoolie with my voice in it to Patrick's Facebook account, and he likes it. And Patrick from his Facebook channel did give me a thumb up about that. And hey, Patrick, did you like that video that I made that I sent you on your Facebook account? Now, War of the Colossal Beast, the film was released in 1958. And like I told you about the Colossal Beast, a giant-sized monster with a half-skull mask. And it was the first sci-fi film that it was a long time ago. And then after the War of the Colossal Beast, when February comes, probably new movies coming up on Svengoolie. And probably some of the classics of all time. Excuse me. Now, I don't know about this webcam system that might give you guys a little tour about this room here. But I do have lots of DVDs up there. Like the ones that I've had was The Untouchables with Robert Stack as Elliot Ness. You see, Robert Stack, who was the first actor, and he was the host of one of his classic shows called Unsolved Mysteries. And that show is a sci-fi show and mystery. And it was hosted by Robert Stack, who plays Elliot Ness, and he's also starring in the film called Transformers the Movie, where he plays Ultra Magnus. And I first heard of the Transformers movie before. And but one of the biggest Transformer movie was the biggest planet, a monster-sized planet that transforms into a robot by the name Unicron. And I did have some cartoon DVDs that I've never watched before. And I think I do have a book of another great comedy team that I want to show you. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, this book here is called This book here is called Abbott and Costello. You see, Abbott and Costello are a great comedy team, and you see the picture of Abbott and Costello, and inside this book here, it's got some great film features, and like the first time that I want to show you on this book here. Hold on, let me find a picture of something here. Let me see. No. Oh, this one. This picture here, the film is called Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff stars in that film, and the film features where Boris Karloff becomes a killer, and it's up to Abbott and Costello to try and stop the killer. Now, you folks may not notice that there's a member of the Three Stooges by the name of Shemp Howard. Shemp Howard is another member of the Three Stooges until Curly made his final episode debut in 1947. But this film here that I want to tell you about is called African Safari. You see, African Safari is another funny film, and it features the character of the Three Stooges, Shemp Howard. Now, I know I have another monster film I want to share with you somewhere in this book. Here it is. This next I want to show you is this picture here. The one picture from Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. And you see there, Abbott and Costello were discovered the mummy of Clarice. And then the mummy of Clarice had just woken up and scares Lou Costello. I mean, that film is scary, but it's still funny. And you see the mummy of Clarice holding Abbott and Costello. Whoa, tall mummy. That may be true there, Squirrel's World. Like I said, Squirrel's World, Rocky will be back to join us maybe later on, before this live stream's over. Oh, you folks may not notice that Abbott and Costello had made their first Warner Brothers Merry Melodies cartoon with their names of these cartoon characters, Babbitt and Costello, in the film called A Tale of Two Kittens. And the remake of Abbott and Costello in that Merry Melodies cartoon is where they try to catch Tweety Bird. And Tweety was voiced by Mel Blanc. And Babbitt and Costello, they may be kind of like Abbott and Costello in that cartoon. Now this next picture I may try and find and show you. One such Western film of Abbott and Costello is this one. It's Ride 'em Cowboy. Ride 'em Cowboy is the funniest Western film starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. And the first time that Abbott and Costello had become the Cowboys. Now, these pictures I want to show you, this is where Abbott and Costello have found Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolfman in the 1948 funny film called Abbott and Costello Meet the Frankenstein. And it was another scary movie, but it's still comedy. Now, another scary movie that I want to show you on this picture here on this book is this one. It's called Abbott and Costello Meet the Invincible Man. The Invincible Man may be the invincible person. And that film was released in 1951. Now, there's another scary movie about Abbott and Costello. Is this one. It's called Abbott and Costello Goes to Mars. You see, where Abbott and Costello flies on a rocket and goes to Mars until they have discovered the aliens. And this film may be a little scary, but a little comedy. Now, there's another funny movie I want to tell you folks about. Is this picture right here in 236. It's called Abbott and Costello Meet the Keystone Cops. The Keystone Cops may be the funny guys, and it's also the film where Abbott and Costello try to become the Keystone Cops. And then Abbott and Costello start their television appearance in their show, Abbott and Costello Show. And then that's when Abbott and Costello meet another member of the Three Stooges named Joe Basil. You see, Joe Basil is another good member of the Three Stooges. After Ship Howard does his last episode debut. And the character who plays in Abbott and Costello of Joe Basil plays Stinky. And there's some other cast in the Abbott and Costello show. Was Sidney Fields, Gordon Jones, Hillary Brooke, Joe Basil, Joe Kirk. And it was the first funniest Abbott and Costello show they've done. Now, I know I have a picture from the 1953 film Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde somewhere in this book. Let me see. Here it is. Here it is. This is the picture of Abbott when Abbott found the beast. In Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You see, Mr. Hyde is the first scariest monster. And this film took place in London, England. And it was the very first scary movie, but it's still a little bit funny, though. Now this next picture I want to show you in this book here, it's when Abbott and Costello had become the Buck Privates. You see, Buck Privates is the first film where Bud and Costello are trying to become the first soldiers. Now this film picture I want to show you is this one right here, where this one is called Abbott and Costello in One Night in the Tropics. You see, One Night in the Tropics is another classic Abbott and Costello film, and it was the very first film of all time. Until the time that Abbott and Costello were in the Navy. I think I have a picture of it. Here it is. This is where Abbott and Costello start their next film career. It's called In the Navy. Now, In the Navy is another great classic film featuring the Three Stooges member, Shemp Howard. Shemp Howard was the very first Three Stooges member, and I first watched the Three Stooges a lot. Now, this next picture I want to tell you folks about is this one. It's Abbott and Costello meet Captain Kidd. Captain Kidd is the first another good film, and where Abbott and Costello are joined in a fight against pirates. And it was the first film of all time. Folks, give me a minute. I'll be right with you. Apparently, folks, I have to go. But we might catch Rocky Ray on my next live stream. But I do want to thank Joe Corner for showing up today. And I do want to thank the people in the chat here as well. Like we got Buck Stanley, Axe and Nachos, and Squirrel's World, and Have Cheeto with You. You guys are awesome. And I do thank you for coming in. Oops. Sorry about that, Squirrel's World. I got my mind just kept on getting me confused again. I'll try to remember that next time. But anyway, on my next live stream, we're going to be talking to Rocky Ray about his channel on Facebook and what does he do and where does he live. And maybe after this live stream is over, I might try and talk to another Facebook friends and hopefully they'll try and come on up. And Squirrel Swirl and Patrick Machio Review, I do want to thank you two for coming in. And Buck Stanley, I do would like if you would like to try to come up on my next Open Mic Night live stream. Anyway, that concludes my first Open Mic Night live stream show. I want to thank you folks for watching it. And I do want to thank the people on the chat here and Joe Cornett. That's better, for coming in today. I will be up on the next one. Well, we'll see it. We'll see, Squirrel Swirl. Oh, and one more thing. This is the director's clapper. It tells me when I'm ready to start my live stream. And hopefully I'll be back. Hopefully I'll be on my next live stream, maybe after I get back from Maryland with Nikki. And maybe to get my ID straightened up and maybe get a job at Carla, PA's Pennsylvania's Walmart. Like stacking and unstacking. And maybe when I get back from Maryland, I'll start my next live stream. Sing you a country song. We'll see about that, Squirrel's World. And thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, that concludes my first Open Mic Night live stream show. Maybe next time I'll start my other episode of Open Mic Night live stream. and then we're going to talk to some more guest stars, and hopefully we're going to hear some more singing and more talking from their channels, and hopefully it'll be turn out well. This is Steer Sheets reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Y'all come back now, you hear?